Welcome back, everyone. We are at Game Day Men's Health in South Reno with Michael Hataway, the owner. And this is actually our very first in-person podcast. So thank you for being kind of the dummy to get us rolling.
Yay,
Yeah.
yay me.
Oh, of course, I'm kidding. So I know Michael pretty well. We are in a networking group. The very first episode that we did was with Jacqueline. She was on that. So
Nice.
The Missing Link Network is just how I know Michael.
Yep.
So you had been an entrepreneur for pretty much your whole career.
Yeah. Most of my life, actually. I mean, I've had intermittent jobs here and there. I grew up, working a lot of blue-collar stuff. But yeah, my introduction into entrepreneurship was kind of by accident. I wanted a Nintendo. I was 10, the Nintendo had come out. I wanted one, and we didn't have the money for that back then. So my mom was like, hey, well, if you make the money for half of it, I'll pay for the other half. And I was just like, well, in my head, I'm like, how do I make money? I'm 10, So
Yeah.
her idea was to drive me around and to neighbors and her friends' houses to do yard work, mow lawns, rake leaves, stuff like that. So that was kind of my introduction. I raised half the money and didn't tell her.
And you didn't tell her?
Didn't tell her. So because in my head as a 10-year-old, I was like, well, if she pays for half of it, then she gets to tell me when I can and can't play it.
Oh, there you go.
So I never told her that I raised half the money, and I just kept doing yard work until I raised all the money and to buy it myself. And that's also when I discovered taxes. So
At
I
that-
didn't
at
I didn't
10?
have all the money at 10 because it was $99 at the time, and then
gotcha,
plus
gotcha,
tax.
gotcha,
So I had
gotcha.
$100. I'm gonna buy it, and then there was like $13 or $14 worth of tax that my mom had to pay for, but it was too late because it was in my hands. And I was like, just pay for the taxes. And she still got to tell me
When you could play it?
could play it and when I couldn't play
She
it.
probably could have told you anyway, even if you had bought the
Yeah,
whole thing.
but in my
But
10-year-old
you know
mind-
that in retrospect now.
In my 10-year-old mind,
Yeah.
I was gonna have control.
But that's where entrepreneurship started. That's so cool. Go
That
mom.
was, go mom, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's taught me all about checking account, all that kind of stuff. She kind of educated me on money, so
I love that.
a little bit.
So then, like right away, you started off helping businesses grow their sales. Is that? I think you remember you telling me that.
Well, after that, I mean, I did some other like landscaping stuff and whatnot. I owned a little small business in college. A buddy of mine and I helped pay for school, kind of helped get me through college, barely. And then after that, I went into consulting. It was through a small firm up in Eagan, Minnesota, and it was a mixture. I don't know if we weren't employees, we were contracted in. That's how we were paid, was 1099. So each of us, it was a very, very small group of us. Each of us kind of had our own company, I guess, and we did consulting all across the U.S. with health clubs. And then I got into, after years of doing that, I got into the ownership side of health clubs, and then I grew that to, trying to remember, I don't know, 25-ish health clubs that I owned over a span of about maybe 15 years or so.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and also got into a nutrition franchise, did some other consulting stuff on the side, and let me think, then COVID hit, kind of put a stop to everything, and I did some consulting after COVID, and then got into this not too long afterwards. Found this, actually just kind of fell in my lap, an old connection from the fitness industry.
Okay.
Kind of gave me a call and was like, hey, what are you doing these days? It's like, just some light consulting. What's going on? And he told me about this. Absolutely loved it. It was kind of the next evolutionary step for me.
Right.
Because I was in health and wellness, so to speak,
Right.
on the fitness side of things, which is a much simpler operation, by the way.
Then a clinic, because this is
Then
the
a clinic, because this
Yeah.
is medical. So this is
Right,
a whole
right.
other animal.
Yeah.
But went from from that to this, which was like, in my head, it was like, that's the next step. I'm taking
Yeah.
a step up. I'm getting into the medical side of health and wellness. And yeah, it's been amazing since. I love
Well,
it.
that fits you, the health and wellness, because you
Yeah.
are always out doing snowboarding and biking and
Yes.
trout fishing and camping and hiking
and backpacking
and
triathlons. And yeah, I do it all. Very, very active person. I always have been. I'm sure there have been some lazy parts of my life where I wasn't quite as active, but you know, I mean, in one way or another, since I was a kid, I've been extremely active. Started out in sports. I've been a dedicated gym worker outer guy since I was. Is
that the technical?
Yeah,
word for it?
that's the medical term.
That's
by the
the
way.
medical
That's the
term.
medical term.
Is
Yes.
gym worker outer guy.
Yeah, that's the medical term.
Okay.
So I learned that when I got into this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
That
I've been
sounds like a
dedicated.
commercial.
It's a great
The gym
yeah.
worker outer guy.
Yep. I'm going to use that in my next one. Thank you.
Good. Excellent. Excellent.
So yeah, I've been active my entire life. So yeah, this kind of also fits into the longevity of staying active, like
Right,
throughout your
right.
life. I mean, you know, keeping your hormone levels in check and optimize helps you feel younger, helps you in just many ways
Yeah.
as you continue to age. You know, in years, laps around the sun.
Laps
but
around the
this
sun, yeah.
laps around the sun, but this helps keep you young. It's kind of a fountain of youth, so to speak.
Gotcha.
A little bit.
So I want to hear all about it, but I have one more question on entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So you have bought into franchises.
Yep. I mean, most of what I've done has been in franchises. I mean, when I was younger, before I got into franchising, I did other stuff that was
Yeah.
just, you know, my own or my friend of mine, and you know, whatever I was doing before. But yeah, franchises I've
And
liked
why?
because
Why?
it's plug and play. You know, I mean,
Okay.
they've got everything set up, so it's less effort from start. You know, idea, start, build, open, and then go through a bunch of trial and error after you open because you thought you had some things figured out or you thought you had the right systems in place. Whereas a franchise typically has put in the legwork because they have to have proof of concept before they open.
Right.
Not before they open, before they franchise, they have to have proof of concept. So they go through a majority of the trial and error. There's always going to be some as the franchise grows and as things continue to move forward. There's always going to be some trial and error, but they put in a lot of the time, a lot of the effort to get past a lot of that, to have a system for you that's all packaged up in a box. You open it up, you plug it in, and you play. So plug and play.
Nice.
Yep, and they, you know, save you a lot of time, energy, and money. Of course, there's always an argument to that. People will say, yeah, but you're paying franchise fees. Well, yeah, but I also gained back a lot of time that I didn't have to spend putting this concept together. That, to me, I can always make more money. I can't make more time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me
Yeah.
to do it like that, for sure. So we are here, if you're watching on YouTube, we're here at Game Day Men's Health, and you can see that it is a man cave environment.
Yeah, that was a big part of the concept. The guy that created it wanted it to feel less like a medical clinic and more of like kind of like a man cave or guy's hangout spot.
Yeah.
So he, you know, they worked with a crew, I think, I don't know the details of the back end of the story, but you know, they built it to be more comfortable, more inviting for men and less intimidating. Like when you walk into a medical, nobody likes going to the doctor. Like people don't want to go to the dentist, they don't want to go to the
Right.
doctor, they don't want to go anywhere that's clinic-y feel, and you walk in and there's scrubs and everything. Oh, we still wear scrubs, but they're a little more fashion-oriented to the decor of the place. And so yeah, I just kind of take that clinical look and clinical feel out of it, make it more comfortable.
Yeah. And men, I don't think, in general, men probably are less apt to go to the doctor than women.
Yeah, that's true. Men, generally speaking, men are very much less health aware.
Right.
They'll go to the gym and they'll work out, you know, but that is not health. That's, you know, that is a part of health, but they don't do regular checkups. They don't want to do labs. They don't do blood work.
Right.
They don't want to go get their hormone levels checked. Although now that the information is out there on this, and you know, it's all over the place now. So people, it's front of mind. People hear TRT all the time. You can Google or do any search engine, not promoting Google, You can do any search engine and, you know, and type in symptoms. Like if you're, as you're aging, and if guys have any type of symptom, whatever it may be, and they can type it in and something will tell, hey, maybe it's low testosterone. So low T, TRT, you know, which is just testosterone replacement therapy. Those terms are very common, and they're becoming even more common. So the knowledge is out there. You can't really get around it just by even typing in your symptoms. Hey, this isn't happening. I can't lose this body fat. I can't build this lean muscle.
Yeah.
And you like my typing here?
I
by the
do.
way?
I really like your typing. I feel
You're
like
welcome.
it's a very good imagery of typing.
I can't figure out. Yeah.
I like it a lot. So testosterone replacement therapy is a big cornerstone of what you do here.
Yes. Yeah. So we specialize in two things: testosterone replacement therapy, and then permanent solution ED treatments for men. Now we can prescribe the pills, you know, that you take every day or that you take when you want to perform, but that's just an ongoing temporary solution that over time, as you age, may not work as well because it becomes more of a blood flow, can become more of a blood flow issue. So we have more permanent solutions for that. So those are the two things we specialize in, but we also have a pretty large peptide menu. And if you don't know what peptides are,
Yes, explain peptides.
I just got that question earlier today. So peptides are, so there's an amino acid, which is the single unit in a protein chain. A protein chain is 50 amino acids or longer.
Okay.
So there's a gap between a single amino acid and a 50, you know, chain protein, and that's where peptides fall in. They're all in here. So they're shorter chain protein molecules or proteins that have kind of more specific functions in the body. So if you, depending on what your goals are, we probably have a peptide for that. So there's peptides for all kinds of things, from cognitive to building muscle, to building large muscle, lean muscle, burning body fat, sexual performance, mood enhancement. I mean, there's peptides for all kinds of stuff.
Wow. This is not really an area that I had heard a lot about until I met you.
Yeah.
So to me, it was new, but you're like, no, everybody knows about this except
Mary,
for Mary.
Everybody knows about this. Okay.
Everybody knows about this except for Mary. So this is not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Erica, in fact, tells me all the time that I am so far down the line of knowledge of how much I've learned. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so peptides, and so sometimes women come in for peptides too? Like they can come in?
Yep. Yes, actually. Yeah, we have female clients come in for peptides. We also do the GLP-1s, which are kind of like the weight loss drugs like semaglutide, tirzepatide, retatrutide. The trade names are like an Ozempic and Mounjaro, and I think one of them is called Wegovy or something like that. I don't remember the trade names all that well. But we also do those. So we have female clients that come in for GLP-1s. We're offering hair restoration soon. I haven't started putting that out there yet because I wanted to be patient zero, you know,
You
see
told
what
me
the
that.
results were.
Remember?
Yeah.
Patient zero on it.
Patient
Okay.
zero on hair restoration. I'd like to keep the hair.
Keeping hair is a nice thing.
Yeah, I think so.
If it's possible.
If it's possible, yeah. So far it's working. I have a lot of, like if I were to just let the little short ones come in, I would have like a mohawk. Like there's a lot of new growth all through here. Like they're all about an inch to an inch and a half long.
What are you doing? What is it with the hair loss or hair growth?
It's PRP injections, platelet-rich plasma. So we do a blood draw, we spin it down. We have centrifuges in the lab. We spin it down. We can inject it into the scalp. We can also use copper peptide mixture with that.
A copper peptide mixture with it.
Yeah, to help with hair regrowth as well. So there's other peptides that can be used, and we also have access to like finasteride, minoxidil, and all the other keep your hair chemicals or
whatever
chemicals,
they are.
medications.
Medications.
Yeah.
And neither one of us are medical people, so.
No.
But you know this because you own the place and you've learned all the stuff.
Well, the irony is I actually went to university for medical. I started out in medical and then wound up in the world of business and marketing and promotions and entrepreneurship, which is I majored in everything. That's the one thing I didn't major in. That's what I wound up doing. And so it's just interesting that things have come back full circle to where I'm now back into something medical, which is what I originally started out wanting to do.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So having guys come here, because this isn't, also you don't take insurance. So there's reasons for that.
Lots of reasons for that. Insurance is a nightmare to deal with, first and foremost. And secondly, they deny like testosterone replacement therapy through an insurance company is extremely difficult. I mean, I'm sure there's people that have figured out the loopholes and how to get around that, but you're still dealing with insurance companies that, you know, will try to skimp on paying you or lower the rates or change the rates, or, you know, that they're going to pay you. So we just stay away from it. I mean, everything that I know about insurance, especially speaking to a lot of the guys that have come in that have tried to go through their insurance, they've all been denied. I mean, that's why they come to us. They're like, well, you know, I tried doing this to my insurance and they just keep denying me, because they will.
I'm sure that's frustrating too. Like you're trying to take care of it and then it's
trying to do something, and maybe it's not preemptive because you can't really prescribe testosterone until your levels are low, but you're trying to recoup and you know, fix an issue that you're having hormonally, and your insurance company's like, yeah, you're fine. You're not getting that. So they will continue to get you to do blood work once a month for just months on end, and then just continue to deny you because you're not below a certain number that they say is treatable, and that number is usually extremely low. And sometimes they'll still deny you based on what your age is. I mean, so insurance companies, they're just a nightmare to work with on both ends, like on the back end for us and for the patient. So we're more around convenience. You come in, you know, you get a quick blood draw. We take your samples, we spin them down in the in-house lab. While your samples are being spun down, you start your medical chart with a provider. In the back office, the door shuts, very private conversation. One of the MAs will call in the numbers, and as long as everything looks good, we can prescribe on the spot and give you your first injection before you leave. So in about a 45-minute window of time, you have come in, done blood work, gotten your labs, and gotten your first dose of testosterone, and you're on your way to feeling better and optimization and testosterone or hormonal optimization. With insurance, it can take months and sometimes up to 2 years of them just consistently fighting and trying to deny you, and a majority of the time they will not cover you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be very frustrating. And I'm sure it is, most men would find it very helpful just to get it done, and it's something checked off your list, and you're not, it's not being dragged out forever and ever and ever. So,
well, it goes back to my comment earlier. You can make more money, but you can't really make more time. So, you know, getting in and getting things done quickly and efficiently, you know, in 45 minutes as opposed to 9 months, a year and a half, whatever your insurance company, and that's given that they eventually approve you. Yeah, it's at least in my head, it's worth it to skimp out on the insurance, come in, get it done, get going. Yeah.
Well, and this, you know, the whole issue of this isn't exactly family friendly in case anyone wants to pop off real fast, but you know, it's like, you know, men's plumbing, right? So it's this thing that guys probably aren't going to want to talk about to anyone, you know? So to have a place that they can come, and I'm sure there's some shame around it, or they don't feel comfortable with it, or they want to keep it private, or whatever that might be.
Yeah, that's a big part of why this is a men's health clinic. And, you know, yeah, there's definitely a lot of men that want to keep it private. They don't, they're not accustomed to talking about these things, or they're just shy about it or whatever. And then you have the other guys that will just blast everybody with everything, which is awesome, you know, because it's just fun to talk to those guys. But yeah, this does kind of, you're not a man walking into a clinic with whatever issue you may have, surrounded by, you know, women and kids and whoever else is in there, and you're in there for what you consider to be a very private matter. If anything, you'll come in, there's other guys here, and you know what? They probably are in here. They could be in here for the same issue as you.
Right.
So this does give it a more comfortable atmosphere for men, especially men, you know, that want to remain very private about what's going on.
And I think it probably takes away some of the shame too. Let's just talk about it. You know, like this is a thing that happens. So it's like, you know, it's not a comfortable thing to talk about. Women have things that we don't want to talk about either that we're going through.
So I'm assuming you're talking about ED.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, most men do not want to talk about that because let's face it, that's where, that's what most men, I think a majority of men attach their manhood to is, you know, not having that issue. So when that starts to go away or when that issue starts to happen, there is a loss of sense of self and there is a shame to it and there is an embarrassment and I don't want to talk about like, how can I? And so they're, you know, searching online to do things privately and everything. And that makes a lot of sense. But our game day here does do exactly that. It keeps things very private. It's not going to be a crowded office. And even if it is, you know, we have plenty of chairs you can sit in as you're waiting. You're not forced to have a conversation out in the open, you know, about what's going on. You go into a back room, the door is shut, it is sound blocked, no one can hear what's going on. You're talking with a medical professional. We deal with this stuff on a daily basis, so there's no shame talking to any of us.
Right.
So yeah, and it's interesting because I'll have long conversations on the phone with guys when they call in about all of this. And even on the phone, they're a little timid to kind of talk about these things. They open up as the conversation goes on and they're like, all right, yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I'm coming in on, you know, whatever day it may be. I'm coming in Tuesday at 12. And then they just never show up because there's such a shame and embarrassment around it. And it's like, it is so much more common of an issue than they realize. Like there are so many men that have the same situation that may be even worse than your situation. And statistically speaking, across, you know, the span of men, it's not that uncommon.
Yeah. Well, I think men in general too, they don't want to necessarily talk about anything.
Yeah.
You know, that's a serious matter. So to have a place where they can come and talk about something that's, you know, also this isn't always serious. There's a lot of jokes that can be made, and we make. Now I'm really being silly, but you know,
go for it.
You know, Michael and I will crack jokes about it, and he will when he talks about it. Some crack jokes about it because you know, we can crack jokes, but at the same time, if you're dealing with it, it's not funny. So crack jokes to yourself and lighten up a little bit, and it's just something that is part of humanity that people go through, men go through.
And it's interesting from a marketing perspective too. With like,
right, because I've helped you market it, so I know that part of it.
Well, because you like, you know, our idea and talking with my marketing team, our idea was like, hey, you know, maybe if we use some humor and kind of lighten the mood surrounding it, people will feel more comfortable. And I don't know. There's probably some men that works with, and there's other men that doesn't work with, and there's some men that are like, I don't know about this, and maybe I should. Right? So it's just, you know, because everybody's different. There's no one size fits all, and that's another reason we're concierge. Medicine is, we cater treatment to the individual based on what their labs are. We check labs frequently throughout, especially through your first year. We want to make sure everything is looking good, nothing's being negatively affected. So. And everything is a case-by-case basis. Like what I started T this year. I'm 47, about to be 48 in a month.
It's okay. You're going to get over it.
Yeah.
You'll get through it.
Yep. I'll be fine. But I started T this year because my levels were low enough to treat. So I was like, all right, let's do this. And I am on a completely different dosing regimen than most of our guys because of how my body metabolizes or reacts to the testosterone. So I'm on a different dose. So everybody can be a little different. It's not a one size fits all, and that's part of the concierge. You know, get a hold of us when you need. We pay close attention. We adjust things, titrate up or down your dosing to make sure that your body is running optimally on whatever dose that does that for you.
And a lot of this is for energy. It's just like stamina, energy, vitality, that kind of thing.
Yeah, stamina, energy. I mean,
not necessarily ED. So just you know, just to kind of have the levels correct, and then you're going to feel
Although it can enhance performance there regardless. I mean, even if you're someone that doesn't think you have ED, maybe just over time you just don't notice the difference. And then you get on testosterone and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that it performs that well. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, it's energy, it's maintaining lean muscle, building lean muscle, not like bodybuilding type. We don't overdose people on testosterone. Our goal is optimization. We're not looking to overdose people. Because I've had, quite a few guys ask, well, am I going to get angry? Am I going to roid rage? And I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing here.
Let's do Hulk stuff.
Yeah, that's like, I'm like, that is not what we do. We do not overdose testosterone
Wouldn't
like
that be a fun movie idea, is to just have Hulk just burst out of game day?
Oh my God. I think,
and just
I
like
don't know.
boom,
I don't know how positive of a message that would be.
It's a bad message.
Come to our clinic, you'll get big and dumb,
Yeah, so it's opposite of that.
Yeah.
These are just jokes. Right.
So I've had that conversation with quite a few men about like, no, that's not what we do. What you may notice is your mood may improve. Like you'll just feel better, because anxiety and depression are two big symptoms that can happen with low testosterone. Moodiness, as you're going through menopause, you can be very moody. So you're just moods all over the place. You're angry and cranky and grumpy, and this can actually elevate your mood, and things don't bother you as much. You're just like, yeah, I'm good.
That's cool.
So you're in a better mood. Your energy levels up. And
tell us about menopause.
Menopause?
Yeah.
You basically
It's only one men instead of menopause, which is multiple not men.
Yes, multiple not men, which is,
right.
I don't know why it's not called womenopause.
Womenopause. Yeah.
And then just menopause for the men, but apparently
I don't know.
No
one asked us.
Someone in the naming
department. No one linguistically
department,
even asked her opinion, even a little bit, which is their fault.
Yeah. That's true, and it's not my fault. So
not your fault. So menopause.
Menopause is basically the same thing. Okay, I am not going to equate the two. I'm not going to say that they're the same thing. At their core level, they are, because you're going through hormonal changes, but women, I think, have a much tougher time with menopause, but men do go through something similar. It's like menopause light, kind of, but you're still going through mood changes, your weight gain and muscle loss, and sexual function can diminish. There's a lot of things that can happen as you're going through that. I mean, you basically go through 2 puberties in your lifetime. The first is when you're a teenager and your hormone levels are coming in and spiking. And the second one is later in life, as they're a little more gradually diminishing. So you'll go through a phase where it affects you more, like a period during that time where it affects you a little more and you feel it more. That's generally when men start to come in, when they really start to feel it and they don't understand what's happening. They're like, I don't know what's going on. I just don't feel like myself. I have no energy. I don't enjoy the things I used to enjoy. I don't have the motivation to go, cycling or mountain bike or whatever it is they like to do. I don't have to go play frisbee golf, whatever your sport is. I don't have the motivation to go out. And when I do, I don't really enjoy it as much as I used to. So, a lack of life fulfillment or life enjoyment can be a big thing that brings people in. Sexual dysfunction can bring people in. The moodiness. Some guys' wives bring them in, like, fix him,
Good for them.
Yeah, because they're grumpy and they're moody and they don't realize it. So
some guys' wives bring them in because they're like, they're
grizzly
bears right now.
Well, yeah, because they're grumpy and they're big, they're big angry bears. And so their wives will, so we've had guys that their wives bring them in, come with them, because they're like, yeah, something's up with him, fix him. Or I've had the wives call in, because I take, quite a lot of the calls on certain days, and I've spoken with a lot of the wives, and they're like, I want my husband to come see you guys. I'm like, yeah, let's schedule it up. Does he know that you're scheduling it? So
I feel like that's such a thing with wives scheduling for their husbands. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's multiple reasons that men come in. They may notice the changes themselves, do a little Googling or Binging or whatever other ChatGPTing, and figure out that it's low testosterone. And so they come in on their own, or it could be the wives. So yeah.
And sometimes you guys do vitamin therapies also?
We do.
For some of that?
We do have vitamin therapies. The most popular one's kind of B12.
Yeah.
Men aren't really all that into vitamins, I've discovered, or maybe
That's
we're just
funny.
not. Maybe we're just not pushing them enough. But yeah, we have tons of vitamins and vitamin therapies we can do. But B12 seems to be the most requested from men.
I feel like that's the most known. If your
Yeah.
B12
Yeah.
it gets up, then you have more energy and that kind of thing. So
That's a good mood enhancer, energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also helps with the immune system.
awesome.
As we're coming into the fall and flu season, guys,
Guys, come on.
Yeah.
Get your B12.
get your B12s in here.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today. And I hope that you do more active group stuff. This might be a good time to ask the audience. Do you think Michael should lead some bicycling, mountain cycling,
Bicycling?
mountain cycling? I don't. What is it? What do you call it?
So
Cycle
I
group?
want to put together some activity groups for Game Day Men's Health.
What a great idea!
One of them will be for cycling, road biking. One of
Okay.
them, gravel biking. We can do gravel biking. My personal favorite, mountain biking. I want to put together a mountain biking riding group, a running group, a snowboarding group, a skiing group, a hiking group, backpack, just any, because I do all of these things. So I'm like,
know,
well,
yeah.
this is an outdoor enthusiast area. So I want to put together these groups for men that are coming in, and not only are they getting their testosterone levels up, but now they'll have a group to relate to. They can hang out with guys that are interested in the same things they're interested in.
Right.
As they're feeling better and as they're becoming more active again, they can do their favorite activities with guys that are like-minded.
So what's the difference between gravel cycling and mountain or road?
So
Like I've never heard. I've heard mountain and road.
So road cycling, everybody knows road cycling. I mean,
Right.
Tour de France, Lance Armstrong. I'm dating myself here. I don't even know who's popular right now in road cycling.
I don't know either.
Gravel biking is in between mountain biking and road biking. So you can ride on the road, but you can also go off-road. But you probably don't want to go as rugged a terrain as you can do on a mountain bike, because most gravel bikes are like a road bike with just bigger, fatter, knobbier tires, a little bit more sturdy of a frame.
Okay.
But they look like a road bike, but they have thicker tires.
Wider tires?
Wider, thicker, wider tires,
Okay.
and they'll be a little knobby for, off-piste, that's snowboarding or skiing, off the road.
Okay.
Whereas a mountain bike, you'll have, a hardtail with front forks, or you'll have full suspension, and those are really sturdy frames, and they have big, much larger tires, knobby. You can get 2.5s on there, and fly down, like go climb a mountain and then fly down the most rugged. You can do big jumps because you have full suspension, so you'll absorb. And mountain biking is my favorite. I mean, I love it all, but I will be honest. Gravel biking is my least favorite because it just beats the hell out of you when you get off-road because you don't have any suspension. It's still fun though.
Okay,
But
yeah.
if I were personally to rank them, mountain biking, road biking, gravel biking.
All right. Good. Thanks for sharing that because I did not know, but
Yeah.
they all sound fun.
Mary,
Probably
everybody
nothing I'll
knows
do,
that.
but everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Again, I'm the last on the
everybody knows
on the
that.
food chain.
Yeah.
So I think we should ask the listeners to rank which ones they would enjoy most. If they would enjoy road biking, mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding, hiking,
Running, backpacking.
running,
just all of it,
backpacking.
yeah.
If you did all of the groups and you were running all these groups,
Yeah.
you can't run them all, but which would be your favorite to start with? Where should we start? When I say we, I mean Michael, because I'm not going to have anything to do with this.
I mean, we could start with probably just regular cycling, road riding. Just because that's the easiest accessible.
Okay.
So we, I could just say, hey, everybody meet up at the clinic at 5 p.m. or whatever, and bring your bike.
Yeah, that's
We all
true.
hop on and we,
Away you
go out and go climb a cairn for the warm up.
Yeah.
Or whatever level, riding group it is, go do,
Right.
ride around. But that would probably be the easiest to start up. Mountain biking's more destination. You know, meet me at the trailhead of whatever in Mount Rose Wilderness or over in, you know, South or wherever it may be. So road bike, that either that or running, those two would be the easiest to start up because they're the simplest.
I love this, especially for men, because women I think are probably a little bit better at getting together and
organizing
just getting together.
Yeah.
And chatting.
Yeah.
And then we talk about all the stuff we don't like.
Yeah.
But men are not very good at that, and that's probably would be very therapeutic for you all.
Yeah.
You feel good, you come to game day, you feel good, then you go out, you do your cycle group, and then you have guys, and then you can chat about stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever that stuff is that they're chatting about.
And I will not serve anyone beer out of the clinic when we're done. I won't do that.
Okay. Absolutely not. You would not do that.
Not do that.
That would not be a thing you do.
No.
Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate you doing this. Appreciate you doing it live in person too. So thank you. Not live. We're not live.
I know,
Thank you for
I'm
doing
kidding,
this.
I'm
I
kidding.
guess live and in person to me, I just put the words together and it means nothing to get in person.
Yeah.
All right. Michael Hataway,
Yay.
Game Day Men's Health, South Reno, right by Tahoe.
That's right.
That's right.